everyone, welcome to another episode of The Journey So Far. I'm very grateful to have Aaron Slocum here with me, who's been a part of the Confident Musician program. And we're going to talk a little bit today about his journey so far. And Aaron, I'd love to welcome you to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well, Brett. Thank you.
Just want to say thank you for coming on and speaking about your experience, just so we can share some really cool info about what your journey's been like for people who might be interested in getting some coaching as well. Thank you.
Definitely. No, glad to be here.
Aaron, so tell me a little bit about what was happening before you met and discovered the Confident Musician. What was the frustration or challenges you were facing?
Oh gosh, they were fairly numerous, but I mean the primary frustration for me was that it was I was in a place where I just wasn't being creative at all. And as you know, I have a musical past, and I've had some professional music experience, which has really been set by the wayside. And working with you, it's been bringing that more to the forefront again. So that's been a real positive thing for me.
Awesome. And so what was it like? What was it like trying to solve that problem? Or what was it like, not having the support to actually get back into this creativity? What did it feel like?
Uh, it was it was like tension that was building up, and it was something that I really wanted to explore that I wasn't able to. I felt like I didn't have the time to do that or the tools to do that. I felt like I didn't have the support from the people in my life to do that. And working with you over the last few months has been a really positive experience in uh, in respect to that. I've had a lot of breakthroughs. I've done a lot of soul searching and a lot of sorry, my phone went off. I have it muted, but it buzzes still. So no, I did a lot of things that brought me to a place where I was comfortable relating to people in my life, that these are the things that I wanted to do, these were the steps that I wanted to take, and this is the direction I wanted to go in. And I know I still have a lot of work to do, but I think we've gotten to a place where you've given me some of the tools that were necessary to work through that process. So that's been very important to me. So it was a very frustrating place to be in. I think a lot of people are in a frustrating place just because of the pandemic, but I also think that there are people that have been in frustrating places well before that. And I think I was there for quite a long time. And I think that I think that working, with you and some of the processes that we've gone through and some of the things we've talked about have helped me uh, break past kind of a plateau that I've been on for a very long time, and break through walls that were barriers to my success in my creative endeavors. So,
Yeah, awesome. And so, can you just share a few things about what's different or what's changed now that you've been working with me, and after a few of our sessions, what's changed for you?
I I think the primary thing is that I've really begun to understand myself in a way that I've never really have, even though I've done some work with counseling with programs that are supposed to help you find yourself. And I think that this has been very, very good for me, because as a coach, you coach people that are creative as opposed to just coaching people in a life coach kind of situation. So I think it's been really helpful for me in a creative and a specifically musically creative way. So
Awesome. So take us to a moment when you realized that working with me was actually starting to solve that problem and actually getting you back to creativity. Tell us about that.
I think the biggest breakthrough for me it was I guess it was fairly early on, is because I wanted to impress you. And I wanted to have my desk set back up for a musical experience. And I think the first time that you and I got together on our one-to-one Zoom calls, where I had my microphone set up and my sound system back operational to the point where I could actually start making music and start capturing my ideas again, was really powerful for me. And that was fairly early on, and I have definitely struggled with some things since then. But as you know, things have really progressed. I mean, we've worked together for about 3.5 months now, and I'm in a completely different place than I was 3.5 months ago. I had no setup, and now I've got I got my microphone, and I've got my whole sound set up. I got a whole new desk ready to go, and I've got my mixer all set up, and I've got things going on from a musical perspective that were non-existent, and
Yeah.
I had no concept of them being around about 3 months ago. So
Yeah. And why is that important to you to have that set up now?
just because I constantly have ideas. I'm always singing them into my phone. I'm always talking to people about being a musician. I've had experiences in my life where I've actually been, in the professional music industry, as you know.
Mm.
Um, and I've really pursued that now, as opposed to just putting it on the back burner and going, someday I'm going to do this. Someday it's going to be like, someday I'll have this set up. Someday I'll have my sound system working, and have my stuff set up. And instead of someday, it's become now. So I've definitely spent a lot more time focusing on the musical aspect of my life, which has been important to me since I was like 5 years old. Uh, I spent a long time. Um, Having music in my soul that has just not gone anywhere, and now I think it's finally starting to be in the place where it can go somewhere. And that
That's
was
so cool.
not possible 3 months ago at all.
And yeah, just to add to that, you shared before we pressed the record button that you've just got an opportunity to create a jingle for some friends' podcast. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
yeah. I
cool
have a
too.
friend of mine and his brother are doing a podcast, and it's hopefully it'll be out in the next month or month and a half or so. It's called We're Brothers, and it's I'll let them tell the story of the when they do their podcast. But um, I was able to do the theme for that, and I sent that to them yesterday, and they really like it. I really like it, and I'm pretty happy about that. So that's
That's
kind
so
of
cool.
the first step of getting back into the cycle, right?
Yeah, and I purposely asked you that question because you totally light up. Your whole face just goes excitement when you talk about that. So
Yeah,
that's really
it's
cool.
it's exciting. It's exciting, and what's more exciting is that the people in my life that I've really tried to tell, like, that this is my passion, and people that I've shared my passion with in the past, that have appreciated it, like my son, and maybe have not quite appreciated it, like my parents. um, think it's a really cool thing, and my son has actually heard the finished version of it, and he thinks it's great, and the two brothers that are doing the podcast think it's great, and I'm real excited about that. It's a happy moment. So
That is very, very, very cool. Um, I think you've covered my last question, which is tell us what life is like now that you've actually got this creative space actually set up. But I think you've kind of covered that. But is there anything else you would like to add from our time working together?
I think I was kind of surprised. Not I, I was definitely surprised by the creative outlet that it gave me, based on our first conversations, and when I was on the webinar that you hosted, and I was just kind of like poking my nose into things. And but I think I've really it's surprised me in the way that I didn't expect, where I've actually been able to analyze myself, um, that in a way that I've not been able to do before. And and that's been cool. It's been cool. I have struggled with some of our documents that we've shared, some of the things some of the exercises, not very good at the emotional laying out of things as as they are in my head. I'm pretty good at writing. I'm pretty good at explaining things, but I'm not good at analyzing myself. And I think that that's been kind of cool to be able to do that in a way that I've not been able to do before. I've certainly, as I said before, have more work to do in that area.
We all do.
Yep. And but I also think that another thing that has surprised me is the way that I've rediscovered the passion that I've had since I was very little for music, and that I've been able to really focus a lot more of my time than I thought I had on musical endeavors. So that's been very cool for me too. So
that's so cool. Awesome. Yeah, there wasn't too much music happening before we met, was there?
There was some listening still going on, and certainly some ideas that were floating around, but not anywhere near the scale that it is now, even though it's just one thing going on from a professional standpoint. It, it, you know it, as and for whoever's watching this later down the road, as I have a hearing issue, and that was a real struggle for me, and I really had a hard time working through music at all as a possibility for myself. It was hard to play again. It was hard to write music because I didn't hear it the same way with my hearing devices that I have, and so that's been very powerful for me.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, that was definitely a struggle, and I think that was a large part of why music was not playing a larger role in my life. And it was definitely still in my heart. It was something that was a passion, but it was something I was having a very hard time reconciling with my hearing issues. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I've gotten past those, and I've been able to hear with my heart again and not just my ears. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you would give to somebody else who's maybe thinking about getting some support or maybe experiencing some similar challenges that you are? What would you like to share with them?
Do it. Get help. Collaborate with folks. That's been a big theme for you and I, talking about finding people to do projects for and collaborate with. And as you know, I've tried to press into that and put myself in situations where I've been able to do that more. Learn as much as you can about your passion. And I'm almost 50. And so another big thing is that it's never too late to start. It's never too late to turn back into that and work on what you want to work on, make your life what you want to make it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And that's all the questions that I have today, but I just want to say thank you so much. I can see that you're getting a little bit emotional and stuff as well, so thank you for being vulnerable. I know as men we have sometimes a bit of a challenge with sharing our heart, especially as creative human beings when we express our emotions. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting me to guide and inspire you along your confident musician journey.
Well, thank you for giving me the space to do that, because you certainly have. So
thank you very much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out some more of the client testimonials and journeys if you are curious, and if you would like to speak to me about getting some coaching and mentoring and more info about the Confident Musician, please reach out to me. You can put a comment under this video or send me an email at brett@theconfidentmusician.com.au. Thanks so much, Aaron. All the best.
Thanks, Brett.
Bye-bye.